I'm going to take you through the squad for the Argentina versus Scotland first test and tell you how I think the game is going to go. Please do forgive my pronunciations on these players. So in the front row, Argentina have Nahuel Tetaz Chaparro, Julien Montoya, and Francisco Gomez Gudea. Now Julien Montoya is the captain and of course a English Premiership winning hooker now with Leicester after Guido Petti and Matthias Alemano are the lock partnership for Argentina. A very experienced lock partnership here, both with over 50 caps and over 60 caps respectively. Should be very solid for Argentina in this game. In the back row they have Juan Martin Gonzalez Samso, Marcos Kramer, and Paulo Matera is at number 8. So Paulo Matera, the ex-Argentinian captain and the current Super Rugby champion with the Crusaders. So a couple of champions in this Argentinian pack. Now the halfback partnership consists of Thomas Kubey and Nicolas Sanchez. Of course, we all know how good Nicolas Sanchez is. An older player now, much more experienced, fantastic player off the boot and is one of Argentina's key players. Their centres are Geronimo Telefuente at 12 and Matthias Orlando at 13. So another two hugely experienced players here for Argentina in the centre partnership. It should be a fantastic pairing going into this game. Now in the back line for Argentina, Emiliano Buffelli, Santiago Cordero, and Juan Cruz Malaya. So a fantastic back line there. Emiliano Buffelli is going to be coming up against some familiar faces with his teammates at Edinburgh. And Santiago Cordero scores a bunch of tries for Argentina, having scored 65 points in 38 caps. Now on the bench in the front row, Argentina have Augustin Creevy, Mayo Vivas, and Joel Sclavi, who, if he comes on, will make his debut for Argentina. At number 19, they have Lucas Paulos, and at number 20, Facundo Isa. The backup scrum half is Gonzalo Bertranu, with the backup fly half being Santiago Carreras, and Matthias Moroni as number 23. So that is the Argentina squad. Now in the front row, Scotland have Pierre Schoeman, George Turner, and Xander Fagerson. Some fantastic players in that front row. Pierre Schoeman being the least experienced, but did play in the test matches in November and throughout the Six Nations and really showed his quality as a test match loose head prop. And of course, Xander Fagerson, British and Irish Lion, didn't play in any of the tests, but did go on the tour. And George Turner is a fantastic hooker who's amazing in open play and also has the skills at the line out and the scrum. Now in the second row, Scotland have gone with Grant Gilchrist and Johnny Gray. Grant Gilchrist is the captain. He was originally named the captain by Vern Cotter years ago before getting injured, and the captaincy went to Greg Laidlaw instead, but he has now been named the captain for this tour and will captain this game. He's being joined by Johnny Gray, who did not play in the Six Nations, or didn't play much in the Six Nations because of injury, and the same as in November, so great to see him back in the side. Two fantastic players at set piece for Scotland and will make their lineup significantly more dangerous than if they are not there. Now in the back row, Scotland have Magnus Bradbury, Luke Crosby, and Matt Fagerson. Now Luke Crosby only got one cap his first start for Scotland, but did captain Scotland A last weekend in their win over Chile. And of course we all know how good Matt Fagerson and Magnus Bradbury are. Bradbury normally plays at number 8 at Edinburgh this season. That's where he's been mainly playing and is moving to Bristol for next season. So interesting to see if that is the position he will continue to play. For this game is playing as a number 6 with Matt Fagerson in his normal number 8 position. Now as the halfback partnership, Scotland have gone with Ali Price at 9 and Blair Kinghorn at 10. Now Finn Russell and Adam Hastings both unavailable due to injury for this tour. So Kinghorn has come in. He's been playing fantastically at 10 for Edinburgh. Not been as convincing for Scotland, but he was mainly playing a bit part and then came in against Ireland, which is always going to be a difficult game to start your first match as a number 10 at international level with. Ali Price, of course, the starting at number 9 for the British and Irish Lions, has shown that he is one of the best 9s in the world of the last few seasons and is the vice captain for Scotland today. Now in the centres, Scotland have gone with Sam Johnson at number 12 and Mark Bennett at number 13, Great to see Mark Bennett back starting for Scotland. It's been a long time, I think, since he's started for Scotland. Definitely a long time since he's been a regular starter for Scotland. He's had a fantastic season for Edinburgh, winning Player of the Year, and has earned his way back into that Scotland setup. And good to see Sam Johnson starting there. He seems to always get dropped for no reason. I think he is an absolutely solid 12, and Scotland always play better with him at number 12 than we do without. Now, in the backs, Scotland have gone with Duhan van der Merwe, Darcy Graham and Rory Hutchinson. So the interesting one there is Rory Hutchinson, who's normally an inside centre, number 12, playing at 15 as a fullback. I'm not sure how much he's played there for Northampton, but it was an interesting call considering Ollie Smith is fullback by trade, but he does not have any international experience. He did play last week against Chile, but interesting to see Rory Hutchinson playing as a 15, and of course Duhan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham, two of the best wingers in the world right now. Really showed their qualities in the Six Nations. Darcy Graham properly standing up and being counted with having all this talk about how good he is in the last few seasons, has stepped up massively over the last few months. Now onto the bench for the backup front row. Scotland have gone with Ewan Ashman, Rory Sutherland and Javen Sebastian. So Rory Sutherland, hugely experienced, also British and Irish Lion, has some fantastic quality playing for Worcester along with Duhan van der Merwe, but has really struggled with injury this year and has potentially lost his starting place to Pierre Schoeman. I mean, he might start in this test series. And Ewan Ashman, a very young player, has made his way into the starting 15 for Sale over this season and has played a couple of times for Scotland. Javen Sebastian doesn't play much for Scarlets, as far as I'm aware, not played a lot for Scotland either, so interesting to see how he will do coming off the bench. Sam Skinner as the backup lock and slash back row with Rory Darge there as well. Sam Skinner moving to Edinburgh next season, and Rory Darge really coming along last season, showing his quality. The backup scrum half for Scotland is Ben White, with Ross Thompson being the backup fly half, and Sione Tuipilotu playing as the 23rd man there on the bench. So how do I think this game will go? Very interesting. It is a very strong Argentinian team, a lot of experience there compared to a still strong Scotland team, but a less experienced one. Scotland have gone quite big with the pack as in terms of experienced players and quality players. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes, but I think it will be a tight game. I think it's hard to tell who edges who. Argentina haven't played at home for a while, so their recent form could be slightly misleading. They've got a brand new head coach. He has been their attached coach previously in Michael Czechia, but he did struggle at the end of his time with Australia. So interesting to see how this game will go. But I am going to give it to Scotland by 5 points.